Let's talk about something that is worrying me for the simple fact that I see most people, especially property investors, don't get this. And if you're not going to get that, you're not going to be able to use property as a retirement vehicle, and that is the illusion of progress. What I'd like to do is to, in my blog, go in depth in this to share with you why is it that people think that property is going to make them free and they invest and they buy their own houses and stuff like that, but it's not going to help them. And today I'd like to take a case study. Quickly run through the case study, and then if you want deeper insights, I'll leave a link to my blog, and there I'll go really, really deep into this. So today, let's have a look at this illusion of progress with property. And it's not only property, it can be unit trust, it can be the stock market, it can be wherever you want to apply this to in terms of your investment. So there's a trap that is set by us. With property, unlike the stock market or cryptos, it does not fail spectacular. You know, it's ups and downs and then it's gone. Because of the way that property works, it's a very, very slow process. Because people don't know how to calculate the growth on their property investment, they assume that they've got an investment. They assume that that thing is growing. But this is 10 times more dangerous than when an asset crash. Because then you know, okay, it's gone, I need to start all over. But property is trapping them for the rest of their lives, and they don't understand why they can't get ahead. I've got a property, or I've got two properties. Why is it that I'm not getting ahead? It's because of what we call confoculation. So confoculation is simply a mental state when you believe that you are informed, but you don't know what you're doing or what you're supposed to do. So we can say it's a mental state when you do not know that you don't know what you're supposed to know. And it's this part that we're supposed to know that we don't know. That is where the danger comes in. So how do I know that someone is in a state of confoculation when they invest in property? First one, they're following advice confidently. In other words, there's a broker or there's an agent that tells them this is a great investment. They show them these nice brochures, right? And they show them a couple of projections. They show him how the tax is going to benefit him and blah, blah, blah. And then because of that, they buy the property. And in doing so, they mistake the activity as the investment. It's got nothing to do with the activity. You can only determine if it's an investment if you check the growth on that. So the system, what I'm saying, is not lying to you. It simply is not telling you the truth or the whole truth. They tell you the truth, but only a portion of that truth. In other words, there are certain things that they're not going to tell you. And that is what I find what is keeping people poor. So let's have a look at this investment. I've done a little bit of a deep dive simply because one of my students wanted to know. And after he's done my course, he said, Hannes, now I know why I've made the mistake and I'm never going to repeat this again. So this thing was presented, the launch price on this specific property was 2.6 million. It was actually 2.4 million, but because there's an Airbnb that could be included in a complex and they would handle it and the sums make sense, there's another 250,000 Rand that he had to buy the furniture and fit the apartment. It's a one-bedroom apartment, so that's what he did. And they promised that it's Africa's first green city, that it's diplomats and it's medical doctors. This guy, by the way, is a medical doctor, and that it's ideal for them. And they projected the occupancy rate because there were two options. You could either rent it out yourself or get a company to do it for you, or you can do it the Airbnb route where the hotel group would be able to do that or would be doing that. Of course, they charge a heavy fee for that. But when you do the sums, you could see that it would work based on an 80% occupancy rate. And this is how he bought. And now he bought towards the end of 2019, and we all know what happened in COVID, less than a couple of months later. But this is how he bought, and this was presented. And if we look at the analysis that I've showed him, they would be in a positive cash flow from the word go, even if there's 100% bond. Now, of course, they structure it so that there's a credit loan account, and because of the credit loan account and because of the furniture that could be deducted from the word go, this property was in a cash flow positive. But reality very, very quickly turned against this person the moment that COVID came in, because the occupancy rate drops from 80%, which were never true, but to basically zero, and suddenly he sat in a dilemma. Luckily, they offer him the option to change. Now, if we evaluated that property, I've done this last year in 2025, when we started looking at that, the first promise that is a green city and blah, 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 it failed. This diplomatic story, and for medical and professionals, well, except for those that were in it, that is not true. If we look at the current resale of exactly the same property, but on the second-hand market, it sells for 1,750,000 rand, right? And there's no takers. So immediately when we look at this, there's a capital loss, not appreciation, of 985,000 rand in this deal. We'll go a little bit deeper into it. Now, currently, if we had stuck with the occupancy ratio, it would be approximately 30% occupancy. Now, you can just imagine, of course, he has changed, but you can just imagine what he would be getting if he did not change to a normal rental. So the market over-flooded. I think on the first day, they sold something like 370 units out of 500 and something that were available. But they were a massive, massive price, and because of the way that they structured the deal and they presented it to the market, because people do not know how to stress test any property like we do in the Property Pro investment system. So he thought, okay, I've done my homework, these people have done their homework, this is going to be a great investment. Now, what is the current situation? That is the bleed, the hidden cost in terms of this that they did not foresee. So first of all, if we look at the levies, right? It's 2,600 rand per month. The racing tax is 1,270. The management fee, because a professional hasn't got the time to really manage the property. In this case, there were two deals. The one was 20% if the hotel group managed that. And the second thing is, now that there's a letting agent, they're charging 9% to 10%. I think it was 9%, but then VAT needs to come in. Now, all of this comes from his income. Okay? So let's look at this story. So the purchase price, 2.6 million. The current rent, 14,509 rand. The bond cost on 11.75%. This was last year. Today, I think we can get it for maybe a little bit better. But at that point in time, it was 28,176 rands that you had to pay. So let's quickly dissect this thing. 14,500 rand income. Liability in terms of debt service, 28,176. The rent after fees, 13,667. But now he has to pay rates and taxes and body corporate, 3,817. This guy is sitting with a negative cash flow of 17,537 rands. That is a negative cash flow. In other words, what I'm saying is that this so-called investor is subsidizing a tenant to live in absolutely luxury. It is costing him literally 17,000 rand. Now, he made this conclusion. He came to this conclusion, and then he wanted me to verify. And the truth is, it's actually in the blog I've written more accurately, it's more closer to 18,000 rand that the shortfall is. Now, what is the verdict if we summarize this quickly? When he bought the deal, it looked like a good deal because these are the questions that normal investors ask. Is this a good deal? Does it look good? Of course, it looks fabulous when you look at the way that they market in the brochures and stuff like that. Is the rent guaranteed? And in this case, the rent was guaranteed, but on 80%. The rent is also guaranteed for a year, even if they rented it out. But after that year, the rent is not guaranteed. And because there's an oversupply of those units, guess what happened? It started to drop. So what do we need to ask, or you need to ask if you're a property investor? The first question, is this deal fast enough to buy my freedom within a 10-year or a 15-year period? Because the moment that we start, we first need to determine what is our financial freedom growth rate. In other words, how much money do I need, or how many properties that I need to give me a certain income over a specific period of time. That's where we start. Then you say, okay, this is what I've got available. Based on this availability that I've got over that term, how hard must this grow? If that property, the investment, the cost that you've got in that does not grow by more than what you need, it means you walk away from that deal. It cannot be a great investment. Another big mistake that people are making, that I'm writing in the blog about, is they do not stress test the deal. In other words, on paper it may look good until you start to stress test this investment. If he has done that, he would never have bought this property. So because of that, he thought he bought an incredible investment. But the outcome today is not so great. So what's the missing metrics that we are talking about here? It's your IGR. We call it your investment growth rate. Your investment growth rate is after we've deducted every single cost. So there's a gross yield. That is the marketing promise that was presented to him. Then we started the vacancy. Then we started the maintenance. Then we started the rates, taxes, levies. Then we started timing friction. And then you get your net IGR. Now, the way that these guys present it is that this will be tax deductible and blah, blah, blah. But there's a section 20A that applies, the ring fencing, that in his case, it's not applicable. In other words, there's a double whammy for this guy. Because on this side, he's taking 17,000 plus loss. On this side, he has to subsidize it, but he can't subsidize it with after-tax money. It's before-tax money. So you first have to take tax here, then he pays it over there, and then he can't deduct it there. And this is simply because he's in a state of calculation where he made certain assumptions, but because he did not know the truth, he could not make the right decisions. So what is the goal? The goal is to get to your financial freedom growth rate. What is your financial freedom growth rate? It simply says, how hard must my money work for me? In any investment, in a unit trust, in a stock, in a business, in a property, you first need to calculate that to see, but how hard must it grow? Because the moment that you know how hard the money must grow, then we can do the calculations to see if your IGR, the real growth, is going to be higher. But we can't take just the IGR on face value. We need to stress test that. What happens in the event that there's no tenant? Because it's not only for that month that there's no tenant. What about the additional cost that comes with it because there's no tenant? And because now we have to paint out the place, or there's marketing costs. All of those costs needs to be included before you can make an informed decision. And people don't do it because no one is teaching that to them. It's easy to sell a property on paper. It's easy to make a projection. The other day I looked at a projection based on student housing. On paper, it looked great until we started to evaluate the Excel spreadsheet that this guy is presenting. And then when we did a stress test, something just like this that looked like an incredible investment turned out to be the downfall of this guy. If he had bought that, you will never get free. Why? Because there's something that we need to understand. I call it the moving walkway. Your IGR is the speed at which you walk, right? The walkway is your FFGR. This is the timeline and inflation that works against you. So if your IGR is not more than this walkway, we find it on airports and stuff like that, you will never get ahead. And by far the majority of people don't know this. And because they don't know it, guess what? They are moving backwards, but they don't know it simply because they don't know how to do the calculation, number one. And number two, they don't understand that it's becoming more and more difficult because they are wasting time. And time is one of the most precious things that we have, especially when it comes to investment. So the trick that I'm telling you, before you make a decision to buy any property, stress test the property. Stop this thing of hoping that it's going to work. Now, I'm using the Property Pro investment system because I've been using that from 1987, and because I know about the stress test, and I know I've seen it twice in my life. In 1984, I saw a 24% interest rate, and in beginning of 2000, I see it 24%. I know things can go wrong. And that is when I developed this. I said, okay, but you cannot just use the current figures. You have to, first of all, work on moving averages. And secondly, what if everything goes wrong? It's only when you can handle the worst case scenario that you can even consider to invest in property. So let's reframe then risk. Risk has got nothing to do with volatility. Warren Buffett said risk is when you do not understand what you're doing. So if you invest in property and you do not know the IGR of that property before you invest in that property, my friend, you are 100% at risk. If you invest in unit trust, you are 100% risk because you've got no control over the risk or the growth of that property. You are literally giving your money to someone else. That by itself says that you don't know how to do it, simply because we think it's difficult to learn the skills, and it's not. You can learn to invest in property by using the system within a day, and you'll get exactly the same results that I'm getting. So risk, my friend, is not knowing what you're doing. That is that. The moment that you give up your control on any investment, that's why I canceled my unit trust and stuff. I'm not saying that you should do it ever. Go and speak to financial planners, which will tell you never to do it. But in any case, my job is to tell you the truth and to show you the truth. That's why we've got courses and seminars where I'm proving that. By the way, in the Property Accelerator Masterclass, a free masterclass that you can attend online, I'll show you actually how easy it is to calculate that. So make sure that you get this right before you start wasting a lot of time and a lot of money and give up freedom simply because of confoculations. Now, there are two ways to invest. The one is luck and the other one is skill. The confoculated investor says all costs are included when they sell that specific property. The other day, I scrolled through Facebook, and I think there were 8 developments that came on. Now, I'm not sure if some of them are the same, just a different way of the packaging, the advertisements, but within 2 or 3 minutes, there were 8 developments, and each and every one promised one thing: rental guarantee, all cost guarantee, buy directly from the developer, right? Buy for tax incentives. If you buy 5 of these properties, there's a 13.6 that you can get tax benefits. If you stress this in real life, you'll see it's not going to work. Or, in this case, where people said, no, don't worry, things are going to come right. It's now 6 years later. Things did not come right, my friend. So the skill investor says, what is my IGR? We use a Property Pro investment system, we calculate that. But more important than just be able to calculate the IGR, we need to learn the skills in the event that this bad thing happens. How do we handle it? How do we offset it? What can we do in order to make sure to mitigate or to eliminate to a certain extent, or to manage at least the risk? Because if you do not know how to do that, you are at risk. No one else. It's always only you. And this is why in 1987, when I started this, I was a financial planner at that stage, certified financial planner. I realized I'm giving my control away, therefore I'm at risk in any of the paper asset products like pension funds, provident funds, retirement annuities, unit trust, you name it, even the stock market. Right, I'm giving my control over. So knowledge, the moment that you know how to offset risk, the only way is to handle that investment yourself. Or that's just my believing. You've got 2 choices. Any person has got 2 choices. Either we're going to master and understand, and therefore take full responsibility and get the results, because if you've got the skill, there's always something that you can do if things start going south to bring it back. Or by omission, where you do not understand the truth, where you don't want to understand the truth, where other people start telling you what to do. So the system keeps you poor by omission. It does not keep you poor by volatility and by the inflation rate. I've been in the market now for 40 years. I've bought property in so-called good times and bad times. But each and every time, good or bad, during this phase, property gave me an incredible return on my investment that I would not be able to get anywhere else in the market. And this is why I'm teaching. In 2002, Tanya said to me, my wife, she said to me, go and teach, because other people need to know this stuff. And this is why I'm doing what I'm doing at the moment. So there are two options for you if you think that we can help you. First of all, maybe attend the Property Accelerator Masterclass, break that confabulation and learn the framework. We're doing, it's about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on how many questions we're going to get. It's live. So you'll find the link somewhere down here that tells you where to book. And if we haven't got something available immediately when you see this, because I don't know when you're going to see it, there's a waiting list. Simply make sure that you book. We'll let you know when the next masterclass is available, and then you attend. During that masterclass, I am not going to leave until each and every question has been answered. Okay, so make sure that you understand this is the outlay. I demonstrate the program. I show you the different downfalls and stuff so that you can see why it's important to invest in yourself and to gain that knowledge. The second thing is a Property Pro mentoring. This is where we really build the skills. But this is a course, this is a class, this is a mentoring program that we take our students where we in depth. This is where the skill learning happens. Right. So if you're interested, then click that link. That is what I suggest, where you start with a Property Accelerator Masterclass and then take it from there. Now, basically what I'm doing is I'm making videos based on what people ask me. So if you've got a real property question, in the comment section, please ask that question. And I'll go through the questions, and if I can see that this specific question can help a lot of people, I'll do an educational like I've done here today. So if you like this, please let me know. If you've got a question, please ask, and then we take it from there. Thanks for your time. I'll see you in the next one.